Punch the Timeline.
You're listening to Punch the Timeline with Jared and Devin.
Today on the show, not only am I awaiting the results of my COVID test, but we're going to review Hitman by Garth Ennis and John McCrea. How's it going, Devin?
Oh, it's going great, especially after this comic.
It's a good book.
It's a fucking great book.
Yeah, I guess.
It's so good.
No,
I want to get into it, so
no,
let's cut to the roll.
No chit chat after the break. We are talking Hitman. Let's go. And we're back. So, many moons ago, as a young boy, I picked up this book, and I loved it. So every now and then, DC Comics would do these stupid events. You know, either bring up a bunch of new books, like, oh, let's just get a new look at some different books, or let's do this group of annuals that creates all these new heroes. And about 9 times out of 10, they all missed except for one. And this is that one. From the ashes of the Bloodlines annuals comes Hitman. With Garth Ennis and John McCrea, they were the creative team on The Demon. That's where Tommy Monahan came from. A hitman with superpowers.
So fucking good.
It's
so good.
It takes place in Gotham, but it's really like low-level crime, so we only see Batman in that first couple of issues, probably just to like give the book its little nudge.
Yeah.
But
name drop.
We're not a Batman podcast, but here's a book with Batman in it.
Well, look, there's other characters in it too that aren't Batman.
It was a joke, Devin. Jesus
Look,
Christ.
man, all I know is after reading this, my favorite parts of this book were the parts that didn't have other superheroes in it.
So, Tommy Monahan gets attacked by an alien. Like everybody in this Bloodlines annuals storyline, they get attacked by these aliens, and the end result is they didn't die. They end up with superpowers. His superpowers are telepathy and his X-ray vision.
And it turned his eyes fucking jet black.
Jet black. So he's always rocking the sunglasses, but this ain't your mama's superhero book. This is a anti-hero book, if I've ever seen
really
one.
Some of the best fucking books of all time.
Garth Ennis, man, he's a mad genius.
And see, the other thing with this character is like his character design itself isn't anything like crazy or like all that intricate. It's literally just like jeans, a black t-shirt, and a big ass fucking trench coat.
But you could pick him out of a lineup.
Oh yeah.
It gets that iconic. March 1996. I was 15 years old. Shall we?
Yes.
You know how every Flash book starts out, my name's Wally West and I'm the fastest man alive?
Yep.
Well, this one starts out, my name's Tommy Monahan and I kill people for money.
It's a living.
And he's shooting someone in the head.
Literally, point blank, straight through the eye. It's so good. Like, this is the epitome of the 90s art style, too.
The best part about this book is the creative team stays consistent the entire time.
Yeah, it's great.
Just flipping through here, you see him like taking out all these cliche heroes. They're doing like they're doing like the roll call, and he's just like.
Also, he's just metal as fuck because he, like, the way that we find out he has telepathy is that he's got a gun in someone's mouth and he's literally listening to them beg and then out loud beg. And then he's like, I like this part. Bang. And just fucking kills them.
So Tommy has a moral compass, though.
He does.
But if it's a bad person, if the price is right, he's going to kill them.
But he doesn't want to kill the good guys.
He's got a little cast of characters. They hang out at a bar called Noonan's. Everybody, Pat, Sean, Ringo,
Hackins, Sean,
and later on,
or Nat the Hat.
Nat the Hat is one of my favorite.
There's too many ats.
Pat, Nat, Hat.
But either way, then we get a look at the villain in the first one. It's the fucking. Oh, I still can't even pronounce that right. The Arcanon? Or Arcanone?
I have no idea. It's just these weird ass demons that are basically decaying bodies.
Shot to shit.
Yeah, decaying bodies with their heads turned sideways. There's always a supernatural element to Hitman. It's so funny because it's a ground level book, but then there's the demons. And it only gets better, Devin. I don't know how far you've gotten, but it only gets better.
Look, you told me to read the first 7, and I couldn't stop myself, and I'm up to 15. The only reason I stopped there is because my internet decided to be a piece of shit at work. Look, man, they literally didn't look for me all day. I disappeared for like 3.5 hours and read comics.
Nice. Now, Tommy does what every man would do if you had X-ray vision. And yes, I'm going to say this even in 2021. When he bumps into that girl, he straight up tells her that he has
X-ray
superpowers.
vision.
He has superpowers, and she's like, I bet you're checking me out with your X-ray vision. And he's like, I would never do it. Perish the thought. As he's
Perish
checking
the
her
thought.
out.
That's a phrase we saw a couple times, too, is perish the thought.
I like
And
how he
then-
straight up tells this girl his exact story, and she's just like,
she just doesn't believe him.
well, I mean, if somebody told you, "Hey, I'm a
Also,
hitman,"
can we talk about the thing that actually gave him his powers? Because that thing is awful.
yeah, dude, that's what the Bloodlines annuals were looking like. I read the Robin one, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna have all these cool new characters," and the Robin one, like the girl had like her hands turned into like blades.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so they like drink your spinal fluid or something, and then
That's terrible.
some die, some survive, and have superpowers.
But none of them came out as badass as Tommy.
Yeah. So the basis of these first 3 books is that Tommy gets a $1 million contract to kill the Joker. Anybody offers you $1 million to do something, you're probably going to do it, but I would really put some thought into it. I like when the guy's like, you want the photo?
Yeah, he's like, oh, maybe I should. I might forget what he looks like.
So we're in Gotham. There's a hit on the Joker, which means eventually we're going to get a Batman appearance.
With the classic yellow logo.
Yes. This is a post-crisis book. And his first introduction to Batman is hearing Batman's thoughts, and Batman's thought is
Batarang.
Batarang, and takes one, or ducks it.
He ducks it.
And then we have a little,
Then, who are you?
just kidding.
Just kidding. Fucking runs.
It's like this back and forth between Tommy and Batman. He shoots him in the chest, thinks he can get away, and then Batman does what I told you he would do in the last episode.
Punches him in the gut, and Tommy regrets that curry that he ate,
He pukes.
which he didn't want to eat in the first place.
He did it for the ladies, but he pukes on Batman's shoes. And then takes an uppercut for it.
That's one hell of an uppercut, too.
Yeah. Great cover to issue 2, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's the Joker. It's a picture of the Joker, but it's got a knife through it, through the head.
And just outstretched neck, full laugh. And then, can we talk about, like, how genius he is in getting out of the fucking police car?
At the end of issue 1, he is
At the-
arrested. And he gets caught by the cop. He surrenders to the cops because he doesn't shoot cops. So to get out of this, so he can get into Arkham, he's got to figure out a creative way to get out of this car.
So he proceeds to read the mind of the driver, and then asks his partner, like, "Hey, do you know your partner's fucking your wife?" Needless to say, that goes about as well as you expect, because they stop. The dude punches the shit out of him, and then Tommy forces the door open into his face. Pretty clever.
Yeah.
I feel really sorry for that guy's jaw and his whole, broken glass in the face
Yeah,
thing.
they survived it, though, better than some.
I know for a split second I thought that Andy, the one who got his jaw broken, actually just fucking died.
That's what I thought at the beginning. He's like,
I was
"Oh."
like, and then we didn't even talk about the other demon that we see, which is this fucking, it looks like an alien with a fucking friar cut, or like a clown haircut, with a swastika on his forehead.
He was a Nazi that got killed by the Russians, and then...
Not just a Nazi, 5 Nazis.
Oh, that explains the arms.
Yeah, he has 5 Nazis that was formed into one and has like 10 pairs of arms. And
Took a-
every single one of them wields a gun.
Took a deal. Took a deal with these demons that are like the gods of, or the demons of guns or something like that. And this is the heartbreaking part of this book. And there are heartbreaking moments in this book.
There are. I wasn't expecting it.
Tommy is talking about what he's going to do with $1 million. He wants to move to New York. He just wants to get a place in Brooklyn and hang out and watch the sun and watch the sunset. And he's
I'm just now noticing this. When he goes to visit Pat after getting out from the cops, Pat's wearing a pair of boxers that just says "Big, Big Love."
Yes, I noted that.
I forgot about that.
So him and Pat decide that they're going to go to New York together. Pat is the nephew of the owner of Noonan's. He's not an assassin. He just sort of hangs out.
From what I understand, he's kind of like a gun runner almost.
Yeah, but they give him shit for not being an assassin.
Yeah. He's like, "You're not shit without Tommy. Hide behind Tommy all the time."
Yeah. Having read this book before, I don't remember this. Like, I came in a couple issues in. So knowing that he had a dream, it kind of like, oh man, just all the shit that he goes through, and you haven't even got there yet. But
Nope.
This is a solid book. I just love it.
Also on his way in to kill the Joker, he kills like 4 other people to make some money.
Word gets out that he's going to kill the Joker, so he's got side gigs, and Pat's just reading off. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And one of them is he just straight up kneecaps the fucking Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
Can you not do those
I
things
see
that
a
you're
puppy.
doing?
So he breaks into Arkham. He sneaks in the back way, does his side jobs. So he made some money on this. And then Batman, of course, is watching.
And we get a couple pokes at a couple other characters that are in like high security lockup in Arkham, which is Two-Face, and I think is that supposed to be Zaz?
Yes, that is Zaz.
That's what I figured.
And
then we get the Joker.
That image of the Joker was so creepy.
Yeah, it actually unsettled me more than the full-blown teeth smile.
But it turns out it's not the Joker, it's our demon friends. And it was a setup.
Let me actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he's got 10 arms. Which is it's also just it's awful to look at.
Yeah, they do a good job of making these demons just look terrible. They're not just people with horns or something. It's like they are disgusting creatures with rotting flesh sometimes.
And then this dude unloads all of his freaking guns straight into Tommy, and it looks like he should be dead, but it only hits his arms and his gun.
Tommy takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, I know. Too bad he doesn't have that healing factor.
Yeah.
I do like the cover for issue 3 as well.
So we get the origin story behind...
Oh, yeah, they're the Lords of the Gun is what they're called.
Yeah.
Mauser, I guess.
The
There was, at one point, 5 Nazis. Like, terrible, awful Nazis that would just go into towns and kill women and children, because fuck you.
As it turns out that this is not the Joker, he gets into a gunfight with said demon, and we get little side bits like Killer Croc watching Seinfeld and then getting pissed.
I thought that shit was hilarious.
When his TV gets messed up and he's just like, Croc was watching that.
Croc like Seinfeld.
Batman's there. There's a cop there.
Who becomes important.
Yeah, it's just a crazy ass scramble to get out. He runs by and sees the Joker hanging upside down, thinks it's the demon, and shoots the Joker.
Like straight through an artery.
So Batman's going to stop and help the Joker. This is like typical Garth Ennis. It's just like this crazy ass adventure where you're just like, every time you turn the page, you're just like, I cannot believe this is happening.
It's so good. I love every second of this book. It's so good.
And it gets better because he uses his telepathy to figure out how to take out
Mauser.
Whatever the fuck his name is. He takes him out and then makes him yield.
Gun.
Makes him yield. And he gets healed and then basically gets sent back to hell.
And then not only does he make him go back to hell, he makes him say, the Arachnon suck. And then he literally gets fucking eviscerated and a giant chasm to hell opens.
And he has a little talk with Batman. They come to an agreement, basically. Because he also threatens Batman. He's like, I could just read your mind and see who's under that cowl. But why
Which
don't
he technically does a couple of times for other characters later on.
yeah. But at the end of this issue, it's like Batman's like, I will bring him to justice. The cop wants to shoot him. The Joker's going to kill him. The demons are going to kill him. And he's just stoked about his date with Wendy. Here we go.
I also just love the last panel on this comic too. It's just such a
Yeah, it's a good one.
this is where shit gets sad.
10,000 bullets.
But we get an introduction of a cool character.
The creepy mob boss.
Oh
We'll-
yeah, I hate it.
We'll get there, but that's Garth Ennis for you. It's so
But it's
Weird.
literally the first panel of this comic is just I just want to read it. It's all just a laugh. It's all a big adventure full of guns and jokes and crazies, and then my best friend dies and I lose a girl I thought I had a chance with. If you're really there, God, are you trying to tell me something? But if he's really there, the guy ain't saying jack.
I just kind of skimmed that, and I forgot that they foreshadowed some death.
Yeah.
10
Right on the first page, it's like someone dies. Oh fuck. This is issue 4 and we're already killing important characters.
10,000 bullets is the name of the next 4 issues.
Which is an awesome name for an arc.
Yeah.
And
Ugh.
then we start off with him waking up to a hitman with a shotgun. Just like, hey, I'm here to kill you. And he's like, you're alone? Yeah, great.
Bap.
And Louis rolls
Goes
back over
to
and goes to bed.
sleep.
There's a dude dead on the floor, bleeding out, and he's just like, oh, I'm in bed.
Let's.
Now we can talk about your part.
Ugh.
It's so
So,
it makes my stomach upset.
so if you read Preacher, you know that Garth Ennis likes to go for the gross out. There's a mob boss that was a conjoined twin, and I guess Tommy had shot one of them in the head.
Mr. Doubles.
The one twin died, but the other didn't. But instead of like removing the dead part, he's just got a corpse next to him, and people are complaining about the smell, and he's shooting them, and he has put out a hit on Tommy for killing his brother.
Which is who that hitman was from the beginning.
Yes. So
But he
there's-
fucking sucked.
so we get a master assassin to go after him.
Mr. Johnny Navarone, fucking Italian-looking dude with a sleek white suit.
He says he'll
No
kill
tie, of course.
no tie. He'll kill Tommy for $500,000, and he's good.
Which is 400,000 up
Yeah,
from
but
what the other guy was getting paid.
he's got a plan. He knows about Tommy's powers, so he's got to weigh in. So he, it's this. Oh, this is Night Fist. He takes out.
Dude,
He
I
takes.
fucking love Night Fist.
He takes a $10,000 contract out to kill a hero named Night Fist, who is taking out drug dealers but then selling their drugs. So of course
And he
this
basically looks like a fucking semi knockoff Batman, but with massive gauntlets with fists at the end.
So of course this is on his radar. But first he's got to go seal the deal with the girl whose mind he's been reading. This would not go well in 2021.
No, it would not. That's why a character like Tommy does not exist currently.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, you're a nice guy." He's like, "Ah." And then the best the part that makes this book whole is on the next page because Nat the Hat shows up.
Fucking Nat the Hat, dude. He is a fucking great character. I
Nat
love Nat the Hat.
Nat is Tommy's friend from the Marines.
From Detroit. Shit's not good there. I'm sorry, Detroit listeners.
I don't think we cracked Michigan yet.
It's probably a good thing. So we get Nat the Hat, and he's called the Hat because he has this colorful ass fucking hat, and it's super dope, but it looks like a piece of shit. Even though everyone else in this comic swears, Nat does, because his mom died, and he's like, nope, I promised my mama I wouldn't curse no mo. And then they get jumped by ninjas.
A lot of ninjas, and they just start shooting them. They're just like, "Pra, pra, 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 pra."
Yeah, this isn't like Katana, It was
Yeah.
just like, oh, bullets, whatever. These are normal people with swords. They don't have no spiritually charged sword.
Night Fist is on the cover of number 5, and it just makes me laugh. This book, whenever there are heroes or like over the top supervillains, I feel like they're almost portrayed in a parody type way.
Oh, absolutely.
They do not fit in. So of course Night Fist
No.
looks over the top. The cover, Night Fist, enter Night Fist, he will hit you with his fist.
I'm just now realizing, what is the purpose of the chain connecting his thighs?
I don't know.
I noticed he had a chain. I didn't realize how it was connected. What the fuck would that do for you?
It just looks cool, and it's the 90s, and he's probably making fun of Image Comics. Because he kind of looks like
Probably.
Shadowhawk.
And also, the very first picture we see of him, like, in the comic, he is frothing at the mouth. And also, he sounds like your fucking, whatever you think of an it's overly satired hero. Coke-dealing scum! Gotham will suffer your evil no longer. Prepare yourselves for justice at the hands of Night Fist! A metal knockoff of Batman.
Hold on, I just sent you a text.
Oh no, it's an image? I don't know if that's any better. Oh my god, this is an exact rip of Shadowhawk.
With fists.
Holy fuck, this is an exact rip of Shadowhawk, but made to look really dumb.
He will hit you with his fists.
And he does.
He does, and then he takes your drugs. I took a screenshot of Tommy and Nat eating at, what is it, Bucky Burger?
Yes, the burgers?
Those burgers are like gargantuan. Like their whole faces are covered up by burgers.
Dude, I read this and I was like, God, I want to eat a fucking burger now. I was like, I want a burger that's bigger than my fucking skull.
What was the name of that? You're probably too young. There was a place in Norman where you could get giant ass burgers. Big Ed's.
Yes. When did that even leave? I don't even remember.
I don't know. That was on like the west side on Robinson Street for the longest time.
It's definitely not there now.
Yeah, that's a flashback right there. Anyway, for everybody
shit.
For everybody's not in Oklahoma, that was a boring couple of minutes.
But seriously, those burgers, like I haven't eaten dinner yet either, so I'm actually fucking starving.
Dude,
and I want a burger again.
I've been eating all day. That's all I've been doing is just chilling and eating, waiting for this COVID test to come back.
Also, we need to make note, this is a momentous occasion. This is the earliest we've ever recorded this podcast.
That is so true. It is daylight. I have seen Devin's office in the daytime. My child is awake.
This is a weird set of circumstances. My wife's not home, so I have to deal with the dog.
Anyway.
Oh, also, what page is this? Page 8. This is the epitome of the 90s. There's just a straight ass shot.
Of the cop, the female cop?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the 90s. This is how I'm sure of it.
Now,
Unnecessary ass shot.
I like how he'll take like, the ridiculous demon shit and the gross out humor of like people getting their heads blown off and intersperse it with like just a bunch of guys playing pool.
Yeah, it just makes him more relatable.
It just
makes him like a dude.
Sets you up for some heartbreak, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, because he's got like superpowers and shit, but then it's just like, he plays pool, plays poker. He just wants to move to Manhattan, watch the sunset, just wants to do normal people things. Not like fucking... Look, I mean, I love my Batman and my Superman, but it's not like fucking... Oh, I win, fly away. He's just like, I just want to go fucking bet on a baseball game. Also, can we talk about the fact that Haken puts a goddamn laser sight on his pool stick?
And it doesn't work out for him.
No, because apparently he's bad at pool, just like he is at poker.
But Tommy and Nat were in Desert Storm and they accidentally killed some English guys. And they covered it up.
Yeah, because they got dropped like 100 miles away from the combat zone.
And they covered it up. And I think that comes back to bite them in the ass. I can't remember, though.
If it does, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm sure it does. It was mentioned. I was like, I feel like this is going to come back.
So here's some foreshadowing. We have Hacken slapping Pat, telling him to hide behind Tommy and his Uncle Sean, and that he thinks he's such
no
a
good
tough
by
guy.
himself.
Yeah. You wouldn't hack it. Couldn't last 5 seconds. You're a wimp.
And then and then the next time we see Pat, he's pretty downtrodden. He doesn't really talk too much anymore.
Tommy and Nat set up Night Fist, which is funny. He's like, "Halt, evildoers!" And they just are just like pull
Yeah, I
their
was
guns.
about to say, how do you know it's him? Halt, evildoer!
They just pull their guns, and he's like,
And
"Oh!"
then he's like, I'm so confident. And then they pull guns. And he's like, oh, fuck.
And then
Even though
again,
we've already seen that his helmet can take a bullet. Easy.
yeah. And then again, he hears someone's thought. It's funny how like anytime someone uses their weapon, they just think it. So this guy's like, grenade. And he's like, grenade? Oh, shit.
I kind of thought that was a little weird, too. But then I really thought about it. I was like, I guess technically you have to have a conscious thought to be like, yeah, this one.
Yeah. Grenade.
So it's like, that would be a thought that he'd see. It's like, okay, that makes sense.
Battering.
Battering.
Battering. Which brings us to the next issue. Johnny Navarone. First thing he does, puts a bullet in Tommy's arm. So Tommy takes a couple of bullets.
Nat is okay at first, and then as they're running away, gets a bullet through the leg.
I think this is one of the only times you see Nat without his hat on. And he uses it
Yeah, it's because he uses it to keep Tommy from bleeding out.
So, of course, they take him to his girlfriend's place because she's the closest person to them. And then she figures out that he is indeed a scumbag. Every time,
guess what?
Every time I'm flipping ahead, every time we see this mob boss, his situation gets creepier because now he's in a wheelchair hooked up to oxygen with the corpse of his brother still next to him. And his head is like, oh my God.
And apparently like a gas-powered motor on the back.
Yeah, because it's smoking.
Funneling fumes. Maybe it's to hide the stink.
Tommy gets kicked out by his girlfriend. You can get out of my bed, my apartment, and my life
And
in that
slaps
order.
him.
Slap is the actual sound effect.
Literally. Slap!
You dirty murdering
Or anything
bastard.
like that.
Yeah. Slap.
Scum. And then we cut back to Nightfist kicking the shit out of some people. So that way he can get the names of all the people he needs to kill. Tommy, and then the crooked cop that set him up, and then Johnny, and Doubles.
What do they throw at him? At the cop when they're driving by?
Oh. See, that's the thing. I can't figure it out, but it looks like he's in he's in casts later, so I feel like they supposedly like run his feet over and it's oil.
Okay, yeah. Okay, because it just looks like it's
the best I can figure.
That's exactly what it is. I didn't see the tire marks before. I just saw the splat, and I thought they threw some like shit at him or something.
No, I'm pretty sure, even though technically this wouldn't make sense because of how far back that bumper sticks, but comics, I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, they ran over his feet.
Because at first I looked at it, it's like, is that all from Chili Dog?
That's what I was like. Did they throw a burger at him? No, they ran over his feet.
No, that's now you look at it and you're like, oh, that's blood. He doesn't have feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, let's give Devin a minute because we're turning the page. They go to see Pat.
Bathtub of his own blood. It's real sad too because they're like, it's okay, you're okay. We're gonna we're gonna drain it and then we're gonna see what's happening. Oh no.
Yeah, Pat played tough with Johnny Navarone and he paid the price for it. He is not gonna make it, but he just wanted to show that he could stand up for himself. Tommy puts him out of his misery. Best splash page is Nat. You know, that happens. They light a smoke. Nat
Cool.
asks what the plan is. He's like, Tommy says, basically, he's like, we're going to kill everybody. And it's just Tommy and Nat staring at each other. And Nat goes, cool. And then that's when the shit goes down.
And then also important to note, Tommy doesn't speak after that. Like he just and then we get back to Doubles in issue 7, who's significantly worse. Like you thought fucking gasoline powered wheelchair with oxygen and a head like neck brace was bad. Now you have a fucking cyborg half basically. Like it looks like he's in a goddamn like diving suit. Like one of the old school diving suits.
So the dead half of the conjoined twin is now like enclosed. So I guess so he can move around, but it's just it gets wackier every time. And this is very violent. Headshots galore. He
starts off with the car ramming through the window and killing the cop immediately by pinning him to the wall.
Shoots the conjoined twin head in the head. It's like beating a dead horse. He's shooting a dead twin.
And the living twin's freaking the fuck out because like, no, Joe. It's like Joe's been dead.
Oh, there was a scene a couple of books ago where he's like, I feel Joey pulling me towards the light.
Yeah. And there's
there's
so many explosions and shooting.
there's gunshots galore, and then Night Fist rolls in. I love that when
He just breaks in the fucking window, is fully prepared to fight, and gets every single gun in the room turned on him in an instant, and he gets shredded.
and his last words are Night Fist.
Night Fist.
The kitchen scene was rather weird with Nat and the
Yeah,
giant
I would
chef.
agree with that.
It's kind of left open-ended if Nat killed him or not, but that was just like,
Oh, Nat killed him. At least in my mind, Nat killed him.
yeah. What's the mob boss's name?
Devils.
He takes
I don't
so
know
many.
what his first name is.
He takes so many shots before he dies.
Yeah, I know, right? He doesn't have like a fucking skull.
He's still
And he's
coming for
Also,
Tommy.
his eyes turn red.
Tommy's just like putting bullets in him, and he keeps coming forward. And then finally, he just shoves
Magnum.
a gun in his mouth and blows his brains out.
Then he gets shot by Johnny.
And then just showing how good he is, he throws a random stray shot, thinking he's gonna miss, and takes off Johnny Navarone's fingers.
And
shatters his
destroys
gun.
the gun. And he tries to talk him into like being the best hitman together. We're better than the rest of these scum. But we're all scum, Johnny. What? We're all scum.
Brap. So ends issue number 7 of Hitman. Many miles to go.
Oh yeah, we're revisiting this.
Oh yeah. Oh, this book
I don't care. Like if we weren't, I'm making an executive decision as a co-host on this show. We're going back to this. I've already read to 15, Jared. I'm ready for another episode.
I'm going to dig up my physical copies and see how many of these I actually have, just to see. Because I've read to the end. I know how it ends.
I'm probably going to try and find physical copies of all of these because I love this comic. I'm really glad you told me to read this because I'm really happy with this comic.
Is there anything you can say about this book that's bad?
No, I loved it. I loved all of it. Like, really, I liked it all.
Dude, it gets so much crazier.
I did tell you about this. I was like, I don't think it's really that I disliked the way the Batman looked in this. I think it's just really different coming from Jim Aparo.
Yes, the greatest Batman artist
One
of the
of
generation.
the best Batman artists of all time coming to this. And I was like, it's not that it's bad. It's that I'm used to the other one, but we talked about it. And it makes sense that because the superheroes almost look out of place.
It's like they're
comic.
Yeah, they're drawn kind of wonky on purpose. Have you got to the?
Yeah, because like have
you got to Green Lantern?
I've read to Green Lantern, yes. So even there, he looked a little weird.
Yes, as he should.
And I was just like, it's a recurring theme, and I haven't seen other heroes yet. I know there's a couple others.
I think Lobo's in it.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think so. Nothing bad to say about Hitman.
It's so good.
We're gonna wrap this up. Recommend the shit out of Hitman by Garth Ennis and John McCrea.
Oh yeah, this is skyrocketed to like one of my favorite comics I've read.
Yes,
I love Tommy is like my shit now.
So if
He's
you're
just the guy,
if you're enjoying this show, give us a review on Apple Podcasts. Give us a shout out on our social medias. If you want one or both of us to appear on your show, punchtimeline@gmail.com. We will be back with more. We might go back-to-back Hitman. I will be going to the comic book store tomorrow if I don't have COVID. So maybe there's some more Future State.
Yeah, I need to go do that too.
Can
you tell how excited we are?
Yeah. Future State. Yeah.
Hey,
All right. There's got to be some better books.
I'm still waiting on my Teen Titans copy to come in.
Oh, shit. You've been listening to Punch the Timeline. That's Devin. I'm Jared.
That's me.
Subdivisions.
Social media.
You can follow me on Twitter at Grumpy Old Jared. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Timeline Punch. And you can follow the podcast on Instagram at Punch the Timeline.
You can find my social media on Twitter and Instagram at Good Guesswork. And you can follow me over on twitch.tv as Good Guesswork. I stream over there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Feel free to drop by and say hi.
Social media.
Thanks for listening to Punch the Timeline.
That's not how we do it in Texas. A Not in Texas production.